Good morning, blog readers. I just thought since Single Bee has been in business for a year and a lot of things have happened in that year that I would give a quick welcome to the studio video. And here is the studio. You come in through that door. I share it with two other jewelry artists. They have these two rooms off of the main room, and this is where I work, in this big blue pretty room. Right now, my boyfriend is looking up, doing internet research for me, finding out how to incorporate and do other businessy type things that I'm not good at. This is Jonathan. Say hello. Hello. This is my desk. I answer emails here and also from my desk at home. I do most of my businessy type deals here, ordering materials and printing out orders. Here's a mirror, just so I can, if I'm taking pictures of a necklace or anything like that, I can make sure I don't look schlubby. Right here is where I package orders. There's packaging materials. I also have a supplies cabinet and a little teapot. This right here is called an ultrasonic, and it is a little box that's full of water with a little screen type deal in there that you put jewelry in, and then when you turn it on, it heats the water up with detergent in the water, and then you can flip this switch. It makes that funny sound and the little light, but what is happening is it's sending like a wave through the water, and it like breaks off dirt and stuff that's on jewelry. It's pretty handy because I no longer have to use an electric toothbrush to clean jewelry, which is nice. There's a scale. I use that to weigh out metal when I'm gonna cast. This is just another sketchbook, but it doesn't really have a whole lot in it. Let's see here. This is a wax injector. So what this does is when you turn it on, inside this pot there is wax, this kind of wax, flake wax, and it melts, and then you pump this handle right here and increase the pressure inside the pot, and so the molten wax will come out through this little dispenser into a mold, which I keep in here. So these molds right here are not very good because I made them myself, but they are the negative impression of jewelry. So when the wax comes in through this hole, it fills it up, and then you can take it out and you have a wax model of jewelry, which you then invest and cast after you burn the wax out. Here's where I carve wax models. This right here is a wax pen, so this gets hot and you can use it on the wax. This is also a wax pen, so this little end will get super hot and melt wax off. And then there's just various tools, different kinds of wax to like carve and poke and sand and, well, not sand, but file. I do a lot of filing. Yeah, just lots of little tools, little alcohol lamp. This right here is my kiln, so I use this to burn out wax from molds, which are made of like plaster of Paris, like high heat plaster of Paris, called investment. So you put the mold inside there and you turn it upside down so the wax will drip out, and then when the wax is dripped out, you force hot molten metal back into the mold, so it takes up the place where the wax used to be and makes a piece of jewelry. This is a bench grinder. I haven't quite got it all working because it's like super industrial, not quite the type of bench grinder I'm used to, but I got it from a friend because I made his girlfriend a pair of earrings. So, but I'll probably use this to make tools out of steel, like to shape gravers and punches and things like that. Yeah, so more tools. Let's see, what do we got down here? Wax, more wax. What is this? Oh, that's the soap that goes into the ultrasonic. This is where I'm trying to learn how to make molds. So inside, let's see, right in there, you put the like the silicone mix, like half of it, and then you put the jewelry and then you press it down. And then when you take it out, it's solidified, and then you cut it out and you make those molds like I showed you earlier. And this is the stuff. You mix it together and it like activates. It's hard though. I'm not very good at cutting the molds out. This is a domine set. So it has this, it's a cheap one from Harbor Freight, I think. Has these negative circles, and you put metal in there, and then you use these things right here, and you use a hammer, and you can make domes out of metal, which is pretty handy. This cuts out circles. So you put the metal inside there and you clamp it down, and then you use these cutter things with a hammer, and it forces out like a disc of metal out of a plate like this, which is also pretty handy. These are just centering punches, but I use them to wrap wire. And this is a draw plate. So if I have wire that's too big, I can draw it down through these holes to make smaller gauges of wire. I don't really use this big one as much as I use a smaller one, which is over here. See, like a smaller one right there, and these are drawing pliers and a vise. Here's my workbench. Looks a lot different from when you guys saw it last, I think. It was all shiny and new a year ago, but now it's filthy and beat up, which is the way it should be. I mean, maybe I could keep it a little cleaner, but I'm pretty busy, so this is how it looks most of the time. Except for when my faithful assistant right here puts all of my little pieces. These are just attachments that go inside this thing. So you can open that up and put different attachments into it, and then with a foot pedal, this is the machine itself, the engine, and then this, with a foot pedal, you can make that spin. So there's different things in there that you can use for polishing, and little burrs, which take pieces out. Various equipment. This right here, I'm gonna have to hurry this up because I think I can only do 10 minutes. This right here is a vacuum machine, and I don't really use it. It says casting, but I don't really use it for casting. This would be the casting area. So you would put your hot mold right here, and then the vacuum you would turn it on and create a vacuum, which would pull the metal down into the mold. But I just don't think it's, I mean, it works good, but I'm not comfortable with doing that. So mostly you just use this side, which is the investment table. And what happens is I mix up this stuff, which is investment material. It's like plaster of Paris, like I said. So you mix it up, and then you have it in a bowl, this little bowl right here, and you put it in here, and you create a vacuum. And what that does is it lowers the temperature that it would need to boil, so it boils and boils out all the air. So it just makes the actual mold itself better, because there's no air bubbles that might get in the way of casting. Anyway, that's kind of complicated. Supply cabinet, extra stuff. This right here is the actual thing that I use to cast. So what will happen is you have your mold in the kiln at a really high temperature, or whatever metal you're using, and then you take the really super hot mold out and you put it right in here, and you push them close together, and that's what holds the back on. And right here you normally have this thing, which is the crucible, and you have metal in the crucible, and you use your torch. This is a casting torch. See, the tip is really large, so you can make a large flame, and you are focusing the flame into the crucible and liquefying the metal. And then at the proper time, this thing can be, well, you do this beforehand, obviously. You wind it up, and then it holds itself, you hold it, there's that little latch. And so when you're ready for the metal to go swinging around, you undo the latch and you let this thing go. And then it spins around and forces the metal into the mold. What else do I have that I think might be interesting? I think that's about it. This is another tool, but I'm running out of time, and I'll talk about it at some other point. Okay.